Hello and welcome back to Second Take Movies, a podcast where we give movies a second look, second chance, a second take, if you will. I'm your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me is my co-host, Jake Twito.
Oh, hey.
We're back.
Yeah, turkey time's done. It's time to watch some wizards.
Some Harry Potter.
What a terrible... Stop. I can't do the voice. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, we're back. What a good one.
Yeah,
I'm down. It's a good thing to come back to.
Yeah, it's one of the darker ones, you know?
Yeah, and it's where the payoff comes in. All the characters that don't mean anything start meaning stuff with Malfoy, Snape, Dumbledore even, I'd say. Like, all of a sudden... Yeah, they're a part of this. They mean something.
And there's not really an antagonist or a bad guy really in this other than Voldemort, who's in the background somewhere.
Maybe that pedo. He's not a pedo. That guy, I actually liked him. I can't remember his name. Slughorn.
Yes.
Yeah, what a likable guy.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, sorry. I have a video and I could have air quoted. I meant to say like a likable... Having my day boy. Yeah, I know enough people like him.
He's a collector of students.
Pedo.
Yeah. The story of the Half-Blood Prince. As Harry Potter begins his 6th year at Hogwarts, he discovers an old book marked as the property of the Half-Blood Prince and begins to learn more about Lord Voldemort's dark past.
Yeah.
Most of it's told through memories. Most of this story in this movie is told through memories.
Sorry. By the way, before we even get to it, do you know who played Tom Riddle?
No.
Ray Fiennes' nephew.
Really?
Yeah. Wasn't cast because it was his nephew. It's cast because they looked alike.
Makes sense.
So, I was like, oh, I read that 10 minutes before this. I didn't know this before. But I went, oh, crap. Makes sense, but
your nephew would look like you a little bit.
What's the negative? Oh no, you haven't got a negative. That was just the descripto.
The story. The positive review is from Lisa Schwarzbaum at Entertainment Weekly. I think we've heard from her before.
Dude, we have, and again, that's a last name right there.
But the story is still and all only a pause, deferring an intensely anticipating conclusion, and it's that exquisite place of action and waiting that this elegantly balanced production emerges as a model adaptation.
All right.
So a little spice with the sugar, a little bit.
Yeah. And I do think, like, this is, I've already said it, like, characters mean a lot more. The story matters all of a sudden now. Yeah. Now things are all connected, which... I don't know. You've got a couple more movies left.
Mm-hmm.
They've really only got 2 more. Right?
Yeah, there's the Deathly Hallows is 2.
Sorry. 1 book, 2 movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, all of a sudden there's an end game.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew the end. Well, apparently J.K. Rowling did, and so did Snape. But, yeah. Negative. Harry Potter was drunk the entire time this is filmed.
No, this is from Anthony Lane at The New Yorker. We get one lovely cheering sequence of a trashed room putting itself in order, like the untidy nursery in Mary Poppins. But the rest of the movie magic here feels randomly grabbed at.
I agree with that, actually. That's actually... I think the 3rd movie, Preston, I made the, what is magic?
Mm-hmm.
And this one, more than ever, is I'm going to flip my wand. This is going to happen. What's going on?
Well, I mean, at this point, we're used to it. I mean,
yeah,
even here,
it's an over critique.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, who cares? But that scene was pretty rad of the room picking itself up. I was in on that. That was cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's early. I mean, like, the movie starts off. Harry's reading the newspaper, flirting with some chick.
Oh yeah,
and Dumbledore is picking him up, baby. Yeah. That's how this starts, right? Or does no, it starts with London getting destroyed.
Yeah, the Death Eaters are just killing everybody now.
What's that bridge? Millennium Bridge in London. Because it's not in the books. It's in the movies, which is I mean, cool. It's a good choice. I loved seeing the real world again.
Yeah.
I know it said it last week, but it's really cool to be like, oh, here's the world. It's not just this. You also see that Lucius Malfoy's in Azkaban. So his crimes from the last movie got picked up, which now Malfoy's got to pick up the slack. Which, do you feel bad for Malfoy at this point?
Well, I have something written down. You have a little bit of sympathy for Malfoy because he is indoctrinated into this thing to where if like he does this one thing, then everything will be okay, and his mom has pressured him into it, and
yeah,
he's caught in the middle and feels like he has to kill Dumbledore.
Yeah, this movie has a good twist. It's not even a twist. It's just a like, oh shoot, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, you also get the I don't remember the name of the place is. Dooney and Burke is what I keep calling it. The evil people's shop in Diagon Alley.
Okay, yeah.
It's something in Burke. It's where the transportation
Borgin and Burke
thing is. Borgin and Burke, thank you.
Yeah.
Dooney and Burke makes purses. This podcast brought to you by Dooney and Burke. Please give me purses with ostrich to give to my wife for Christmas. Thank you. Yeah, so you kind of get the like Malfoy's getting set up to do something, and that's the first time I think you understand that Severus is a potential mole.
Yeah.
Like you've always known was an evil possible person, but they really like tip it out of, oh, Snape's in on this, and then he makes that unbreakable vow, which
we get more of Snape in this movie, but also they do a really good if you're watching this for the first time, you have no clue what side he's on.
It was fun to watch it this time, and it's like, oh, you can see it in the guy's face almost, just knowing what, especially after the next two movies, and knowing what he has to do. He doesn't want to do it. Like, he does not want to, but he knows, Dumbledore's God, and he predicted all this, apparently.
Now, am I correct in thinking that Snape originally was a Death Eater? And then Harry's mom died, and then that's when him and Dumbledore hatched a plan.
You might be right.
I think so.
I think we'll hit that in the next movie for sure.
Because he seems pretty
right.
in deep in this. Like,
but I don't know if he. Yeah, I think when Lily dies, that's when he changes his tune.
Okay,
they address it more in the last bit of the Deathly Hallows, but yeah, you really, I don't know. Like you said, watching this a repeat time, this movie's so good about just nonverbal cues.
Yeah,
like Malfoy, he's uncomfortable the whole time. You don't understand why. Then you really understand it. Snape, same thing. Dumbledore, same thing. Which Dumbledore, I don't got to get into it yet. Well, I know. Is Dumbledore a good guy? Like, he has the greatest line, which I think it summarizes everything, is, Harry, I must once again put you in grave danger.
Right.
Something of those lines. Like, ask too much of you.
I must ask too much of you.
That Joker knows the end game. He knows how this ends.
Yeah, he knows that he's going to die that day. I think.
Yeah.
Because he knows that Malfoy's been trying to get those guys into the Death Eaters into Hogwarts.
Speaking of Dumbledore, that's when you get the coffee scene. He's flirting it up with Afra and McGee. Her hair is rad, by the way. And it was kind of fun. Like, Harry's a normal guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something special of like, it's not this. It's like seeing Tony Stark not be Iron Man.
But then it's just.
But he's still Tony Stark.
Another thing of, Dumbledore picks him up and then he's back into dealing with all this crap.
Yeah. They go. Dumbledore, again, doesn't tell him anything.
Yeah.
And they go to Slughorn's, where people have been apparently trying to kill him. So he's hiding in a chair. And you figure out, Slughorn's just a creep. but Dumbledore wants him to befriend him because he needs to add him to his collection. Such a weird. I mean, but it's such a weird thing, but such realistic. Like I know teachers, both my parents are teachers. I know teachers that this exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
There were people that were like, I'm not saying I'm a good student, and high school is different, but they were jonesing of like, I taught your brother. I want to teach you too. What?
That's weird.
What are we doing? Yeah, like we're not that smart. Like,
yeah, well,
but
it gives you a great peek into his character before they even explain that, because it says he stays in a house for like a week, but like also sets up his entire collection of students in the house.
yeah, that's creepy. That's yeah, that's a red flag on Facebook nowadays. If you're a teacher in high school, apparently, especially, and you're a never mind. I don't think the people I'd offend would listen to this, but I'm just going to be quiet.
But
Yeah, Harry, go ahead.
Dumbledore's a little manipulator, you know. He
Yeah, no, he is, and
puts Harry out there.
I've got to, I got to imagine he knows his death is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where like he's way more manipulative in this. I think he sees the end game and believes it. I don't know. There's a really weird psychological thing of Dumbledore and Harry. Like Harry has to die.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, Harry realizes that. This is a kid's book, kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's not really, but so here's where I got lost here. Hermione, why is she at the Weasley's house? Because after this, he gets teleported there, and she's just magically there. And I'm like, are they just boning?
Just move the story along. Let's get them together quickly. I mean, who cares? Who knows?
Yeah, and I'll say this. This is the movie where Ron Weasley starts to become a baller. Like, he's just like, heck yeah. I'm in on this. I'm going to be rad. See, my filter's working, man. When I get mad, apparently my filter just works. I had worse things to say, but yeah, so they talk, everything's hunky-dory, it's plot moves, they get on the train.
Yeah.
Harry sneaks into the back underneath his cloak, and Malfoy all of a sudden is a great wizard, apparently, or clairvoyant, because the guy's kind of been a loaf this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden, he's got a tattoo and he's good. But he gets knocked out, which is one of the funniest sequences to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Get him, boy. Yeah, and Luna saves him. There's a lot at the beginning of this that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is Harry and Ron at some point are in the hall dicking off, staring at freshmen, apparently. And why am I blanking on her daggone name?
Oh, me too.
It's Dame Maggie Smith. McGonagall.
McGonagall.
McGonagall
Yes,
sees him and is like, I've signed you up for potions. Take him. Which Dame Maggie Smith, during this entire thing, was doing radiotherapy for breast cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why she's not in as much as I think she would have been. But still, you never would have known. I mean, good actress. I love her. She's great. She's great. I flat out told Logan I'd cheat on her with her. So I knew that'd get you.
Ron and Harry make it to class, and they don't have books, and the only ones left are a brand new one and one that is signed the Half-Blood Prince.
We got to talk real quick.
Okay.
All right. High school, middle school. I don't know how your schools did it. Like, you picked your textbook. You legitimately, for me, picked what textbook you got. It was in a stack. You just grabbed one.
Yeah.
I picked the most haggard one possible because I'm not paying no fines.
Right.
Like, I'd get the one that's falling apart, and they'd be like, well, this one's going to get thrown away next year. Do what you want with it. So I just love, like, Harry loses and gets that. And meanwhile, I'm going, he picked the right one.
Picked the right one.
You don't want to pay those fines. Someone drew penises and titties all in that one for sure. That's how my books were. Yeah, Half-Blood Prince has it.
And we don't know who this
I tried to
character
think,
is yet.
yeah, the first time I read the book, I have to say that because I read it before. Like, I had no idea who it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You had no clue. I mean, I thought the first time you watched the movie, same thing, but you figure out how magical it is right away because Harry wins a competition essentially to win some liquid luck, which is called like Felix something.
Felix Felicis.
Yeah.
It's just cocaine, right?
I was going to say it in my notes. Sorry. Liquid cocaine, baby. Hit the X. This podcast brought to you by drugs. Oh, man. That'd be a very lucrative sponsor, let me tell you.
It would.
He makes it. He wins it. I love how mad Hermione is at that loss. We transition to your favorite thing. I want to make sure we have a special segment. This is Quidditch Review, brought to you by Preston. Daggum. I mean, I will say this. Ron standing in the uniform while everyone's screwing off made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is another Quidditch movie. It's fantastic. Just
more Quidditch.
It's kind of weird. Like, originally, I'm like, that's so cool. The more I watch these, I'm like, who cares? This is stupid.
Yeah.
But
because he's trying out for goalie, and then Hermione
curses him,
curses the other goalie, and silliness.
Yeah, and he starts dating that weird girl.
Oh yeah,
Juan. This was my like. Can we get away from this? This is. Yeah. I don't know.
Because the morning of the first game, Ron's really worried about
performing.
Yes,
playing way better. Yeah,
and then Harry acts like, "Oop, here's some."
Oh, dude, so good. That was such a good little like fakes the thing itself. Mm-hmm. He has his own courage. Like, sweet. I watched that and I felt really motivated. So I went and poured a huge glass of vodka and I drank it and I felt courage. It wasn't vodka, it was Fireball. But anyway,
but in the placebo effect of it all, Ron does very well. And during the party in the Gryffindor common room, I don't even know that girl's character's name.
Lavender Brown.
She snatches him down and starts making out with him in front of everybody in the room.
Preston, I think she's of age at this point. Let's just go ahead and do this. We were of age when this came out. Mm-hmm. It's okay. We're not creeps. We're just going to go ahead and also lay that out. What in God's name would say, I'm going to go with this girl over Hermione Granger?
I was thinking that the whole time.
I mean, I know he's a ginger, and they're not very smart, and there's a reason they're all dying out with evolution. What in the world, man? Like,
you got Emma Watson, and then this girl.
Yeah, and Emma Watson hadn't become culture. I mean, not what climate change, whatever. Yeah. She's normal at this point. Well, whatever.
She was just 20 at this point.
That's where I'm like, I was hoping your negative review would say this is flawed because of that. This movie is not real. Couldn't happen. No way anyone would not have picked her.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, then you get the nice, like, it's kind of weird. People are like, Ron and Harry are best friends. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I think Hermione and Harry are the real best friends of this whole series. They're both muggles, kind of.
Harry is the glue of the group.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Which is, I didn't even think about that. That's even funnier because Ron's purebred.
Yeah.
Harry's purebred, but his family's tarnished and he lives with people.
Yeah.
And she's a muggle. Or mudblood, whatever. So, that's pretty good, man. I didn't think about that. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We've hit a good spot here, and we'll be back next week.
But it does make sense that, I still feel that it does make sense that Ron and Hermione fall in love.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, too. Hot take. Ginny Weasley, that actress is trash.
Oh, yeah. I kind of
That's the worst actress.
I had a couple of thoughts of that when Harry shows up to the house. He's like, Harry Potter, of course. I'm like, what?
Hi, this is Harry.
You don't want to give that another read on that?
I'm like, dude, you started this movie out with this girl in this coffee shop who's got chemistry and like can actually act,
Yeah,
and then you go with the girl. I mean, like, I'm not trying to bash the girl.
right.
Like, good job for her, but she's
Probably
is
18 or 19 at the time.
unlikable.
Yeah.
Away from all that, Harry goes to the Weasleys for Christmas, where I think that's where they get attacked, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, they burn down their place.
Bellatrix the Strange shows up and burns down the
And I'm gonna
house.
say, I said it last week, or sorry, the last time we did this. What an actress! She's a one-trick pony.
She nailed it.
Doesn't matter. Nails it every time.
She plays crazy very well.
Yeah. And I bet she's normal in real life. That's how crazy she plays it.
Well, I don't know. She was married to Tim Burton for a while.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I got her confused just now with someone else in real life. Sorry. Nope. You think she? Never mind. Filter working.
Look at you.
No. But yeah, that's where everyone. He's like, yeah, Draco's doing all this stuff, and everyone in the order is telling him no. But Arthur Weasley lets on that the. It talks about what the Vanishing Cabinet is.
Yeah.
So now you understand what's happening. I think this is when you start seeing the Draco doing experiments in the Room of Requirement as well.
Yeah, you get a lot of different what I call, hey, there's Malfoy moments where
Yeah.
the scene will transition and like there's a shot that goes from Ron and that girl making out to Draco in the clock tower. And then,
Peyton in the clock tower.
Harry and Luna when they're heading to that party.
Yeah.
Draco's off in the corridor.
This not a hot take. I think it's right that this movie hits the like Harry's not the best actor anymore.
I would say that
I don't know.
He's really good. Daniel Radcliffe is really good in this movie in particular.
I love you said that. This is what he thinks is his worst performance.
Really?
Yep. Thinks it's his worst. He's also apparently struggling with alcohol abuse the entire time and like was intoxicated in a ton of it.
I thought I had read that he didn't like his performance in The Prisoner of Azkaban. I thought that was the one.
Didn't like it, but this was his least favorite.
Really?
Which is crazy because I'm like, man, if you're looking at like, I don't remember the right wording, like traditional acting, he's the setup guy for everything. The glue, like you just said.
Yeah.
But look at it as we're getting too smart now, but the like meta piece of acting, like his character plays the role of tying all this stuff together. That whole scene that comes up here where Ron takes the love candy or potion. He strikes out with Slughorn, pisses him off. Ron eats that, so he takes him back to help him. And then the guy pretty much kills him with giving him some liquor.
Yeah.
Like that whole sequence of the three of them, like Daniel Radcliffe does such a good job of making all this believable.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone else is doing a great job too, but it's like, man, you're the main character, but you're doing a good job of stepping back.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he's drunk.
What leads him to take the Felix Felicis stuff?
He knows he has to get the memory from young Voldemort.
That's right.
Of young Voldemort from him, and it's his last step. Hermione makes a comment that's like, you just need some luck or something, and he's like, that's it. I'll just do this. Before that, though, he gets rid of the book because he casts that spell on Malfoy.
Oh, that is a great scene.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, oh, that was good.
Because he
but how dumb! You read a spell, you don't know what it does.
Right.
You went and cast it. Like, how dumb! But you know what? The second he does it and sees what it did, you immediately understand the regret. Like, there's no like, oh, what have I done? It's I effed up, and they talk him into throwing the book away because they think it's dark magic.
Yeah, because he suspects that Draco is a Death Eater, and he's right, but he has no proof, and that's what him and Lupin were arguing about.
Yeah.
That and Snape,
and that all occurs, the chase down, the spell of that, because earlier a girl gets under a curse from a locket.
Yes,
that Malfoy did give her. So he's talking to her, catching up, and it's that wonderful, like, someone did something to you, you're talking to someone else, and they don't understand the conversation, so you run away. That's a terrible lead up, but he thinks that Harry knows, but due to how he reacts, it's the speeding syndrome. If you're driving by a cop and you're speeding, don't hit the brakes. Just keep going. If you hit the brakes, you're going to become suspicious. So Malfoy runs out for nothing, so Harry chases him and does that.
Yeah.
Which, that whole scene.
Because there's like not really any music, and it feels like straight out of like a shootout from a spy movie or something.
Yeah. This movie does a good job with the music. I mean, the whole series does, but this one does a good job of not having it. You do, so yeah, it goes to, he does the liquid luck at that point. That whole sequence, it's one of my favorite. It's just so good. Like, I don't know, it's just the same thing of like Harry being the glue.
Yeah.
Or Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Harry drinks this thing, he needs to go see Slughorn. And instead, he's like, I just want to go see Hagrid. I don't care. So he goes to see Hagrid. Then you find out that, Slughorn's a sketchy guy. He's over here getting stuff to sell on the black market, which shows up again like 2 seconds later. But there's just something so fun about that entire scene of the liquid luck. Like, I don't give an F. I'm doing this.
Yeah,
see ya.
That's my favorite part about it is, especially Daniel Radcliffe's performance was that part of just being like, oh, hey, I'm just happy-go-lucky, and because it's different
Harry,
to anything else he's done in these movies.
It's getting dark outside. Yep, sure is. You need to go back. No, I'm going to go see Hagrid. You want to come? You should probably come with me then. Okay, boy. But that, Also, Aragorn, the spider.
Oh, yeah.
Did he get a lot smaller all of a sudden?
Dead
spider.
I don't care. He was bunched up with his legs. He's dead. So
kill him dead.
Yeah.
That whole drinking scene, like everything was just, it was perfect. That's the only moment I felt regret for Slughorn, because I've not made Voldemort, but like, you think you're doing the right thing in life or an event or something, and it turns out you were the problem, and you got to live with it. And for that one, dude, you pretty much killed everybody. So
you set Voldemort on a path of just destruction and ruin, and because the reason,
I'll give J.K. Rowling some credit. What an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not original necessarily.
No.
But what you've already seen some of this stuff. Some of this stuff has happened. Tom Riddle's diary has been killed. So
I think it's a great way to set up how Voldemort is so old and is still alive.
Born in 1926.
Yeah.
On New Year's Day.
And this is supposed to be around 96, 97, I think.
Is it? Okay. I was going to ask you that. That's a question I had for you. It's like, when was this?
I feel like it is. Because
that fits. He takes that thing straight to Dumbledore. They go through it, and Dumbledore immediately, he has to know, here's my problem. He's already gotten his hand burnt and destroyed. He has to know about the Horcruxes, right?
Well, I think that's what his travels were about, was him figuring out that, I think he knew that there was at least a Horcrux. I guess
the number, he gets 7.
Yeah,
Tom Riddle says, what about 7?
Right.
But Okay. Yeah.
Dumbledore
That
didn't know
makes
that there were 7. That's why he wants Slughorn's memory, because he knows that Slughorn had a conversation with him.
Which is even funnier because Dumbledore immediately he says, "What about 7, sir?" to Slughorn, and Dumbledore immediately says there's 6.
That's
He
because
jumps to 6 right away.
they already killed the diary.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry. In my head, I was like, because Harry's the 7th. No, he's the 8th. That whole scene, I'd watch a whole movie of that, of Dumbledore and Harry on an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. It was the filming of it, all of it. I guess it just doesn't feel like Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter. It's not as like lackadaisical or happy, cheery. It's like you're in a cave. You're gonna effing die.
That whole location is very much Harry Potter to me. Like the crystal stones and the way you enter it.
That whole sequence, man. And it sucks watching it after the first time where you're knowing what's going to come up. You're knowing what's going to happen. I don't know, man. It was wild. Just, I love every piece of that. What do you think about that, Logan? Dumbledore and Harry go get the amulet and he has to drink from the shell. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a thirsty boy. Thank you. Useless. What's that? Oh, yeah. I did fast forward through this watch. I'm not gonna lie.
It's very sad.
I love it, but I was falling asleep. I was super tired, and I went, I got to get done with this. I have to finish this. And I honestly didn't want to see it. I just didn't want to see it because it made me sad.
Yeah.
I'm a wiener.
The actor that plays Dumbledore, I forget his name. I should know it by now.
Yeah. He does his own at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I think you and I have already said, like, the original Dumbledore is great. It's Michael Gambit, Michael Gambon. It's Michael's G something, I think. I've got it pulled up. I should just look. Yeah, Michael Gambon.
Okay.
Gambon, whatever. Yeah. God, this is his best performance.
Mm-hmm. The amount
that
of
whole
like
scene of drinking that water,
senileness and suffering that he goes through,
but how weird is it to watch the guy that's the greatest wizard in the world crumble?
Mm-hmm. And
that is weird. Like I loved it. It was like, yeah, this movie's gonna say, "Hey, we know what you think. You think he's the best? We're gonna take a dump on your chest, boy."
And on top of the fact that he's the only father figure that Harry really knows.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not been a good couple movies for that. Like, you lost Sirius. This is going on.
But
he's got the Elder Wand at this point, correct?
Yeah, he had it He's had it forever.
See, what I don't understand is, like, how is he not capable of, I don't know, I guess there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. I mean, it's a powerful wand, but it can't do everything.
Yeah. That whole sequence, Harry goes underwater, he gets dragged down, Dumbledore fights it off, him swirling that fire around.
Oh, yeah.
I know that audio listeners can't see me rocking my cowboy hat, lasso, whatever. It was perfect. It was just like money. But God, you get decimated right away. They come back to the school. Life is okay. They have the locket. It's rad.
Yeah.
And then someone comes in. It's Malfoy. And he tells Harry to hide. Don't come out. Don't do anything. So just like, again, another watch. You click. Yep, he knows. He knows it's going to happen. It's cool.
Because I think him and Snape had the conversation about Snape killing him before
you get it
teleported to that place.
Not the next movie, the next one. There's a whole scene where it's him telling me, like...
Yep, but you see the very end of that conversation in this.
Yeah. I got nothing happy to say. It just sucks. Like, it's not someone you want to watch die.
Yeah.
And it's fine, but... So Draco goes and he can't do it. And Dumbledore, being him, doesn't kill Draco. That's what he should do. He should just kill the boy. No. he kind of sacrifices himself, lets himself be open, but Draco can't do it because I think Draco's good somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So Snape comes in and kills him, which, not to spoil anything else, talk about an effed up coincidence about, taking over the Elder Wand later.
Yeah, because it technically
Where?
belongs to Malfoy because he disarmed Dumbledore when he got up there.
Yep. So I guess she did it on purpose at this point, but yeah, so Snape gets knocked out. Bellatrix, Greyback, and Greyback, whoever the other Wolverine. Wow.
One of those guys is a werewolf, isn't he?
Yeah, it's Greyback,
Yeah.
which he's not in. He's in the books. It's not in this at all.
Mm-hmm.
He looks a lot like he'd be a great Sabretooth.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, looks just like the 90s cartoon Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, that whole scene, like Dumbledore falling out, it's hard. Not hard to watch. I'm not a baby, but like it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So Harry's pissed, chases after him, tries to fight Snape behind, like in front of the burning school, and then that's when you realize Snape is the Half-Blood Prince.
Yep.
And so,
and I had to look up why. Because that's
why is he? I meant to do it and I forgot.
Well, I think in the books it's explained that his mother was a witch.
His dad was not, which in the opening scene of the next movie, I think the opening scene with Lily and him playing, you get that dialogue of they're both muggle-ish folk.
In this book, I think that's where it's explained. Because I think Snape goes on a longer, because his mother's maiden name was Prince, and his father was a Muggle.
And I'm not trying to get too metaphorical or like. I think the Harry Potter books and the movies, they do a lot of good, but I think the big thing is don't judge someone quickly.
Yep.
And Snape is that. Like, got a garbage childhood, got bullied. He is what he is because of that, which I think that's a lot of people, but he's good in the end. A
very strict, serious teacher with long black hair and black robes and sneaking around all the time.
They go from there to mourn Dumbledore's death, which kind of funny. And I don't know, not funny, but I guess everyone's in shock. Harry's the first one that goes to his body. And I get it. Like, if that's the greatest thing in the world, and he's, what would you do? Then you get the heart-wrenching thing, the locket's a fake. RAB has a message in it.
Which that turns out to be Regulus Black, right?
Yeah. Creature lets them in on that.
Creature.
But it's kind of funny. Like, all right, there's no more school. It's done.
Pretty much.
They're not going to come back. They're going to go hunt down stuff. This movie, and I said it with the scene for them in the cave. I think it's the only Harry Potter movie nominated for an Oscar for cinematography.
I believe that.
Yeah, I think it's the only one, and I get it. It's great. The next two, great movies. This one, no. Like I'm gonna sound like a movie jerk, but like the color, the framing, everything was just spot on.
Even just the shot of them when they apparated to that cave and they're standing on that stone in the middle of the ocean. And
so good.
That just pull in on their face. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's a good movie. This is where kind of sucks of like Dumbledore's dead.
It's the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Ending.
Yeah, it is. Very much. And Harry's going to go kiss his sister.
Our heroes are scattered or left to their own devices, and nothing is really resolved at the end of this movie.
Yeah, and I think this is the first movie where there's no ending. It's a see you next time. and that's it. But pretty good. Again,
For not a
the
lot happening, a lot happens, if that makes sense.
yeah, definitely. That was my complaint. I think with Goblet of Fire was it's compact. This one, nothing really happens, and that's okay.
But it moves the story along a lot
Yeah,
in the
and
same
I'm gonna
way
go ahead and
somehow.
say like, good job on them for splitting the next movies.
That was
I
such
will
that's
tell
such
you,
a money thing though. You could compress that into like a
yeah,
you could take
first
the
one, first thing that did it was this one. This was the first.
yeah.
We're gonna make a big book 2 movies,
You could make like a
which
huge probably 3.5 hour Deathly Hallows movie.
God bless Lord of the Rings,
Like it
the
like
original trilogy.
people
Sorry.
would have showed up for that final movie for three
Oh
and a half
yeah,
hours.
yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I like the next 2 fine, but a better movie condensed because
Yes.
there is some garbage.
A lot of bloat.
Yeah. I made a comment earlier about Ray Fiennes' nephew playing Tom Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Bauer, Vecna from Stranger Things was supposed to play him.
Yes, but he ends up playing Grindelwald in flashbacks.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Yeah.
You were dead. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. Oh, he is in the next movie.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, man, I've been sitting here going, where do I know this guy from anything else? And I'm too lazy to look it up. So
He was also in Sweeney Todd.
I need to rewatch that movie.
That's
So
weird, but
Sweeney
it's
Todd,
good.
my brother took me to watch it. I was not old enough to see it. He snuck me in. We didn't know it was a musical.
How do you
I
not
was
know that?
down. Yeah, this was before the internet, so we just knew it was a
What was that?
cool movie.
2007, 2008?
Yeah, I think 7.
Okay.
We left that and went to some other theater to watch something else. We went to another movie, but I want to rewatch that because I was like, man, I like musicals. I don't care. This is great. But I just remember my brother being like, this is gay. We're getting out of here. Okay. This one's up there though. This
Yeah.
is
And there was a lot of other stuff in this movie with Slughorn and his club and
yeah.
party and who are you going to take to the party, and it doesn't really add to the movie, I don't think.
David Yates' second movie
Mm-hmm.
as director. Yeah, Chris Columbus is the only one that had done more than one until now, and David Yates does the rest. But yeah, there's some bloat. There's some bloat that it's entertaining, but
There's some fun jokes in there, and Ron gets poisoned with chocolates and breaks up with that girl, and him and Hermione start getting together, I guess. I don't know.
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he wakes up after getting poisoned,
Yeah.
and he gives the worst acting in the world of Hermione. I did note one fun thing. Dumbledore's death is supposed to mirror Alan Rickman's death in Die Hard. Like intentionally, somebody did that,
Okay.
and I was like, "Yeah, 10 points because that's the best Christmas movie ever made." Yeah, I'm here with the hot pip, give it a dip. I don't know that Run DMC song. I'm racist now, but yeah, I give this a solid like 8.4.
I give it like a 8.7.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, there's not a lot to hate,
Yeah.
especially for a movie like you said with no antagonist. Voldemort's not there.
Yeah.
There is no one they're fighting.
It's pretty much Slughorn's memories.
Yeah, that's it. Which I guess that's what you want to do for a setup of the ending with nothing but that.
Yeah.
But
All right. So now we move on to what you watching?
I got Pokemon, dude. I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet on the Switch whenever I got free time. Whenever I'm not working, kids don't get jobs. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Help crash the economy. Don't get jobs. It's not fun. Don't crash jobs. Okay. Yeah, I've been playing Pokemon whenever I can. It's actually pretty fun. Growing up as a kid that was targeted by it, it's just kind of relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid. I watched Bullet Train. Text you about that.
Oh my gosh, such a good movie.
So happy. I bought it on Black Friday, so I got it really cheap digitally. I'm baffled. I'm so mad I waited so long to watch it. It is so good.
I hate I missed it in theaters.
I am too. But that's probably my favorite movie so far of the year.
It's a good one.
Or it's up there. I don't know if it is, but
it's still Top Gun for me.
And I was gonna say I saw Top Gun. That's the problem. That was a perfect 10. I've been watching an anime show, which I'll just go ahead and asterisk. It's really, really weird. It's crazy. It's called Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, you've mentioned this.
I thought so, and I'm just going to continue saying it's really good, but you got to know what you're in for. If you don't like anime, you're not going to like it. If you don't like questionable stuff, you're not going to like it.
Okay.
But I watched the episode today in the background while I was working, and I had to quit working because it was like, wait a minute, what just happened? This show that I thought I knew just flipped that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. I've been watching my life dissipate while working. Again, kids don't get jobs.
Of course.
Let me call out my customers by name really quick.
Nope.
If you want to sponsor us, yeah, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do it. What you been watching, man? What you been up to?
I'm on the final season of Hell on Wheels. I'm making it through that.
What is that?
Confederate soldier comes back from the war and tries and finds all the northern soldiers that raped and killed his wife and son. And he ends up out west working on a railroad because he's tracked 2 of them out there.
Okay.
And then he gets caught up with building the railroad.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I got that mixed up with something else. I've never watched it. That's on my list. And I'm not gonna lie, it's past a couple because I got to finish Westworld, even though it's done.
Yeah, it's done now. That's sad.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have had one more season.
Nah. HBO wants the tax write-off.
Yeah.
What a weird world, by the way.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off on anything that you got to say, but these tax write-offs for Warner Brothers, which down with them, it's their fault for all this stuff.
Well, they got bought by Discovery, and that guy he's like been known to like hate movies and hate like linear storytelling television. Like he loves reality show stuff because it's cheap.
Yeah, but I heard he likes kids.
Oh. That's not good.
Yep, sorry about that. Anyway.
That can be taken one way or another, and we're just going to move on. I'm also a 33-year-old man that bought Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, on PC.
Dude, look, I'm going to tell you right now, those Lego games are some of the best things ever made.
It's fun. Like, it's so super easy and dumb, but it's fun.
They're comical. I mean, they're good. When I worked at GameStop, managed GameStop stores, whichever, if you want a side podcast and want to hear the life of someone that worked at GameStop, holy cow. You become you feel like a dirty human being selling some games.
Yeah.
We're like, this game sucks. Give me $60. You're going to hate it. You're going to trade it in for $25 tomorrow, and we're going to sell it for $55. The Lego Star Wars games, all the Lego games, honestly, always recommend that. They're the best. But no,
this one's really good.
You're in good company, man.
Because it goes through all of the movies, like the prequels, original trilogy, and some of the other ones. All right, so I guess that's it for this week. Next week we'll be getting into the Deathly Hallows with part 1.
Hello, boy. Sorry. I'm looking at my dog in the camera.
I didn't know how to react to that at all.
No, good. Don't react. Just no. I've lost my mind, buddy.
But if you have a suggestion for a movie you'd like us to look at, you can send that to secondtakemoviespod@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at secondtakemovies. And for Jake, I will say we'll see you next week for the Deathly Hallows Part 1.